President Biden travels to Italy today for the G7 summit, where he will meet with leaders of the world's most advanced economies. On the agenda, pressing global issues like Russia's war in Ukraine, the war in Gaza, and commitments to support developing countries. Ed O'Keefe is with me now from Washington. So, Ed, we laid out kind of the top three, but what can we expect from this G7?
Anne-Marie, great to be with you. As Ouija was telling us, the president headed to Italy later today for conversations that, at least for the president, are expected to focus primarily on what to do about the war in Ukraine. The White House telling us that he's going to be holding a joint news conference with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy on Thursday. We had initially thought it would just be the president himself facing questions. Now that he's alongside a world leader, the White House at least probably hopes that the focus of the questions remains on world affairs, but don't be surprised if he gets asked about his son's verdict in that federal case in Delaware. The president also set to meet with the Pope, along with the other leaders of G7, to talk about artificial intelligence and how that might affect society in the years to come. They are, of course, in Italy, so the Pope able to make a quick stop to meet with these world leaders. Don't be surprised if the president meets with other leaders of countries that are not in the G7 but invited to attend. We believe Turkey may be there. There may be representatives from Saudi Arabia and India, among others. And then, on the back end of all this, there's concern among several of these leaders about their own political fate. The president, of course, facing a tough re-election. The French president, Emmanuel Macron, just announced snap legislative elections. The German chancellor facing pressure back home because of the results of European Parliament elections that went against his party. And the British Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, may be attending his last G7 as his party is expected to lose elections in early July. Anne-Marie?
Ed, thank you so much.